Whether you're some kind of overlander nerd with a snorkel on your car, you got a van, or you're just looking for a bike rack that will swing away from your vehicle, today you're gonna want to check out the review of the RIGD RambleSwing. Let's get into it. So for those of you who maybe don't have a spare tire on the back of your overland rig or drive a van, why do you need a swingaway? Well, essentially it makes getting into the back of your vehicle easy. It also gives you a little bit more clearance between the bike and the back of your vehicle. It essentially extends the hitch out from the stock hitch of your vehicle, but it also gives you the ability to move the bike or whatever rack you have attached to it away from the car. So you can then open up and get into the back of your vehicle, do whatever you gotta do. And then after you're done getting changed, making your repairs or eating, swing the rack back and you're off to the races. Now this hunk of metal here is quite expensive. It weighs 60 pounds, is made in the USA, and the folks at RIGD have given it a lifetime warranty. It is compatible with all 2-inch receivers, 2-inch bike racks. And what's really neat about it is that it is quite stiff, quite stout, and it does not rattle or move around. And those are some of the features that I really like about it, as well as the fact that it has a 300-pound load capacity. So again, the system itself here weighs 60 pounds, and they've done a really good job of making it not rattle, I guess also, or wiggle and move around. So one of the key features of how they get this rack to be so sturdy in here is that you've got to get a really deep, long extension socket, which could be probably one of the hardest parts about it, and getting that in there and snugged it up. But I'll move over here and give this thing a proper wiggle. And I mean, the whole vehicle is moving and this rack is not wiggling at all. So that's pretty impressive for a bike rack. So that stiffness then just translates out to the bike rack, because bike racks, you know, just inherently have a little bit of wobble. So if you can just make that wobble less pronounced by having this attachment point be fixed and really solid, that's awesome. Next up, we've got this, I think they call it a 500-pound latch system, and it's pretty incredible the leverage and strength that you can get out of that thing. So pulling this out, it's got a really cool little ODI ruffian grip on there, and then this pin is your secondary safety. From there, this rack will open to either 90 or 120 degrees, depending on what you want, what'll work with your vehicle, etc. So you can either leave this pin in here so you have a hard stop at that 90 degree, or you can open it up here and put that back in, which will limit the rack from opening past that 120 and prevent you from possibly damaging your vehicle. When you go to slide the rack back in, there is thick Delrin slide plates or glide plates, which are nice for both helping wedge and also helping guide the rack back in. When there's a load especially on there, it makes it nice to have that little Delrin plate to glide in there. The rack, I guess we'll call it a rack, is reversible, if that's the right word. It has their flip-flop technology, so you can either run it to the right or the left, depending on how you want the rack to open, you know, depending on which way you want to get into your vehicle or which way you want to park the bikes when you're doing your stuff. From there, both sides have this really nice large step plate. You know, on my Transit 350 here with a 2-inch lift on it, it's a little tall in the back end, so honestly I've been keeping this thing on here even when I don't have a bike rack on, because this, I think they call it like a battleship grip, it's technology that's used on the decks of battleships, pretty cool, is actually quite helpful. And although it's only maybe 4 inches below, it's just enough to make it easier for me to step into the vehicle, especially if I'm like loading my dirt bike in or doing anything like that. So next up, price, $849. So it's not cheap. It is a stout, robust piece of equipment. Again, it has a lifetime warranty. Is $800 worth it to you? I can't say. We were lucky enough to be sent this for free to test and review, and I've had it on the vehicle and for probably close to a year now. So I love it. I find a lot of use out of it. And again, with how sturdy and stout it is, even when I have a vertical rack with, you know, quite a few bikes on there, which if I didn't mention, there's 100 pounds bike weight permitted on a vertical rack. So you'll want to do the math, but it's a maximum 300-pound load capacity. So while RIGD did not pay us to endorse this product or make the review, they did send this product out to test and are going to let us keep it, which is great because I do really like it. If you're not familiar with this brand, check them out. They also have a spare tire hitch mount, as well as a lot of other cool accessories, primarily built around like the off-road overland kind of element, but this is certainly a nice add-on for those of you looking to get a mountain bike. All right, folks, so there you have it. The rigged RambleSwing, a welcome addition for those of you looking to get your bike rack out of the way of the back of your vehicle. Check it out. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you out on the trails.